Good afternoon from the SBC Summit Barcelona. I'm Joe Streeter, the editor of Payment Expert, and I'm joined by John Smith and Tommy Kearns, now from Xtremepush, off the back of some really exciting news. The deal, the Thunderbite Xtremepush deal, how did it come about and just how important is it?
We've been working with John and Lisa and Mark for probably 2 or 3 years now.
Yep.
And we've got a number of shared clients, and we've been, kind of integrated deeply with their stack and theirs with ours. So it was a natural kind of progression insofar as to our partnership, that we have a very clear vision, and John and his team had the same, that basically, within the customer journey, of the life cycle, that these wow moments or experiences should be, entered in all along the journey. And by Thunderbite being acquired by Xtremepush, we now have the ability, capability-wise, to enter these free-to-play game mechanics and loyalty gamification and reward systems within that journey in the correct place at the correct time. So and
I think from our side, it was definitely a strategic deal to be done. This wasn't just about finding anybody to take on Thunderbite. This was finding the right partner, somebody who shared the same visions, the same cultural fit. To us, it was like selling our baby, so it's finding the right person who's going to look after that. As Tommy said, we've worked with Xtremepush for the last couple of years now with a number of different shared clients, and all the same kind of cultural fit just runs all the way through both companies. So to us, it was a seamless, no-brainer of a deal to do.
Yeah, no, I've been about the stand a little bit today, and it already feels like one very well-oiled machine. I guess for that client list you're talking about, the fact that that integration will be so smooth is vital, right?
Yeah, totally vital. So this capability within the industry has not been here before. So loyalty and gamification have been parallel teams. They've been within the journey, but they've been on 2 different tracks. So CRM, and then you have free-to-play or free-to-play game mechanics. Now, for the first time in this industry, you're going to be able to give your customers the experience they want and need and kind of yearn by having these game mechanics throughout that journey. And like, for us, we're highly excited. And to your point, John and the team are already integrated. We're only 10 days off doing the deal, and they're fully as part of the XP family. So, they're ex-peers. They were Thunderbiters. They're now ex-peers, right? Which is great.
Absolutely. And again, just to echo Tommy's points there, we've seen that for a long time there's been a gap between daily free-to-play games or daily retention games, gamification, loyalty. They're all siloed in a line kind of thing. So here we had a perfect opportunity now to roll everything together. Thunderbite team, as a group of sort of managers, we've always thought about how we can unify that solution, how we can pull everything together. So it shouldn't be, you need to go see the CRM manager, or you need to go see head of casino for this game and head of sportsbook for this game. For us, it was about how to make everything under one central platform, and this is perfect. Real-time triggers, real-time events, real-time gamification, reward your players, personalized content. Let's give them the right offer to the right player at the right time through the right channel. That's hugely important.
And all from the one platform.
Yeah.
Which has never been done before.
Yeah, and I guess it's, you're both singing from the same hymn sheet, not just in terms of meeting market needs now, but being forward-thinking and meeting market needs in 5 years' time.
Yeah. So again, it goes back to the similar answer. 2 years ago, we were talking about real-time triggers and real-time rewards. 2 years ago were still getting their head around what to do with daily free-to-play games and coming up with a nice and shiny sort of free-to-play game that they weren't sure what to do with it. What do I do with that data? How do I leverage that? How do I get more information about a player? How do I learn about their behaviors? So we were always thinking about that while still trying to service the needs of the operators. We were always thinking about, okay, what does the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months look like? And here we are.
Yeah, and if you think about our journey, Xtremepush for the last 5 or 6 years, we now have an omni-channel platform with a built-in CDP.
Yeah.
You add this to the mix of it, you literally have within your capabilities, you have the ability to service all the customers at the same time, so you end consumers and give those wow moments.
Yeah, definitely. And I did want to ask you a little bit more about that, actually, the data you speak of. How crucial is first-party data off the back of this collaboration?
Well, maybe I start there. So we come from, our whole philosophy is about data. The more data you have, first party data you have, the more you'll be able to. We have this saying in Xtremepush: "Show me, you know me." Yeah. All right, and it's the more data you have on a customer behavior, in the free-to-play game spin, how many of them spinning, or what are they using, and get all that behavior. When you bring that all into a single customer view, you have a much kind of richer profile of the customer, which means when you decide to talk to that user via channels, all right, you're talking in a relevant and a personalized fashion, and you're able to, give generosity where needed along those pieces.
This isn't just about pushing and giving out offers and bonuses and promotions all the time, just in the hope that players stay with you and don't churn. This is about learning what they really want.
Yeah.
This is about loyalty. It kind of goes two ways, right? We can have a nice, beautiful, shiny loyalty program, but if we're not giving players what they want, then they're out the door anyway.
Yeah.
So this is about personalized content. If you're a particular fan of a football team, let's give you personalized content around that. If there's a certain player you always like to bet on to score the first goal, or if there's always a certain type of slot game that you always want to play, well, let's give you tailored, targeted offers and promotions around that.
And we can see just from looking out onto the exhibition floor how competitive this industry is, how competitive not just CRM but the betting industry is in general. How important and how challenging is ensuring that level of customer retention and loyalty?
I think that's a really good question. So if you think about, and this is a global phenomenon, right? Acquisition costs are through the roof. Retention, loyalty, keeping your customers retained, stimulated with personalized content, retained, increasing the lifetime value. That is the only game now, because acquisition is, in the European market, acquisition is not as important as in the States. All right, and so really what you need to be doing is thinking about, how do I stimulate, how do I retain, how do I put those moments in front of the customer at the right time in the right place to keep them.
Yeah. Well, from our side, it's exactly the same conversations. A lot of operators that we talk to will say, well, how can we reduce churn? Not talking about how can we win new customers. That conversation is always going to be there in any business, in any industry. How can we reduce churn? What have we got that keeps that player to stick around, but obviously making sure there's something there for them to do? Let's give them a reason to return to site. Let's give them a reason to stay engaged on the site. If it's the same content and the same information and the same rewards that are just being spat out time and time again, they're going to switch off, like anybody would switch off. So it's about how to keep the content fresh and dynamic, but giving them still the personalized content that they're looking for.
And, in this kind of era of where the consumer they want instant gratification, you have to have real-time data, you have to have personalized data, so as when you do get that opportunity to make a comment or send a personalized content or a free-to-play game, it's the right free-to-play game, because you may not get another chance to keep that customer.
That's a really valid point, I think, because a one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't work, and it also doesn't work from a regulatory point of view, right? You have to adapt to different frameworks. I guess that's in your remit as well.
Yeah, like that. And again, if you think about this kind of marriage together, right, this is really, really good, because we have we partner with all, over 250 sports betting and gaming brands globally, and we're helping them make sure that they're, we're a partner in the RG compliance side, so we're making sure suppression lists are up to date and in real time. So we definitely are a large partner in that, and so is John in what he does as well.
Yeah, it's important. Like the socially responsibility side of push notifications is vital as well, right?
Well, from our side, operators value that. They value the fact that we're not just trying to sell them a piece of software which is going to be a magic blue pill.
Yeah.
They value the fact that we come with help, advice, guidance. What's working for other brands, other operators? What have we seen as trends? What can we help them with? And in return, they'll give us that trust back and say, okay, we want to partner with you for a long time to come.
Yeah, that's key.
And from just to add to that, what we've seen with working with Thunderbite over the last 3 years is there's just a guaranteed ROI when you use free-to-play game mechanics, the conversion element, the retention, the cross-sell opportunities, so having it from the one platform and being able to light it up really, really quickly, all right, time to value is very short, so from a brand's perspective, they can get up and running and see value in days and weeks, not months and years.
And actually, on top of that as well, one of the biggest headaches, we talked about how plugging things in together. One of the biggest headaches operators have found historically is getting that data out, what to do with it, taking it somewhere else, plugging it in, making a dashboard report of, did this campaign succeed? How are we measuring it? By what metrics are we measuring it? Now they don't have to do that. By plugging the two sites together, the two platforms together, one unified approach, it's all there for them, and they can instantly see, is this working, yes or no? What can we add? How can we add extra value to it? How can we take these campaign and these ROI numbers, these KPI numbers, how can we take them through the roof?
It's key, it's incredibly streamlined. And I did want to ask you, we're here we're in Spain, a lot of Brits about as well, but it feels incredibly global, this conference. Feels like we're touching on lots of different markets all over the place, like the LATAM one there.
LATAM, yeah.
Are there any markets in particular, the US is definitely one. Are there any markets, maybe Brazil, when it opens up, that will be key for free-to-play games?
Well, I think all of them, Mark. So, we have a team on the ground in America. It's exploding, all right? Latin America is really, it's new, but a really good hunting ground. Brazil, all of yesterday's summit, all the talk was around Latin America and Brazil specifically.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Like 250 million people, about one. Not like the US where it's state by state, it's going to have one regulation. So when that opens up.
Oh, wow, okay.
So you've got the local, you have to localize and stuff, but you don't have there's only one regulator rather than 52 or whatever.
It's not going to be fragmented like the US.
100%. So I think there's going to be huge opportunity there, specifically for free to play game mechanics, educating the market early doors, and then converting them to pay to play, be it sports betting or casino, etc.
Education's key here. We've seen that with European markets, we've seen it in the US market. If you miss the education piece, you're missing a huge potential in that market. Latin America is a perfect example. The US is a perfect example. Everybody's gone all in on sports books, sports betting. What are we now? 4 states plus Ontario, for Canada being the 5th in terms of gaming license and regulatory licensed. There's still a huge untapped potential, and making sure that you can educate from an operator standpoint, making sure they can educate their players on what they want to do and how to take them on that journey, and almost gamify that education piece.
Yeah.
Use it as a way of saying, okay, this is a particular type of casino game, this is a slot game, or this is what we think about in terms of sports bets. This is what we would like you to do, or these are the things we think you might be interested in based on your behaviours, and gamify that experience. Again, that feels to an end customer, to a player, that they're valued.
Yeah.
And because we have the CDP and engagement stacked together, so we have the single customer view, by adding in you can gamify this, but you're getting all of the player data, all that, you can make sure that you are sending the right piece of content, be it a slot or whatever it is, at the right time in the right place. Just makes so much sense.
Yeah, brilliant. I couldn't agree more, and I'm really excited to see this new company, or this new collaboration develop into new markets, and to have an impact in opening markets as well, and to continue to sort of innovate in the space. So thanks ever so much for your time today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, lads.